Hi everyone, so today is Saturday, June 10th of 2023, and I just had a couple of updates for you guys. So my sink came in today. Now, it had said that there was one of these in stock in the store, so I went to go buy it and it was nowhere to be found, so I ordered it, and it was supposed to be in maybe like a week ago. So I just want to let everyone know, don't necessarily take for granted on-time shipping because I have some other items that are also delayed. But anyways, I got this sink on sale for $199, and it's the same size as my ceramic sink that's in there right now, approximately, the 33 inches by 22 inches. So hopefully it fits in the same hole, but I haven't gotten the other sink out just yet. But I think this was $70 off because they seem to have discontinued the 18 gauge and are now making this in a 20 gauge. So I was able to get $70 off on this, which combined with my sink faucet, which was also on sale quite a bit. I feel like I've gotten some really good deals. So that's not quite ready to go in yet, but I'm really excited to be putting this in later. And then also today, well, I was out tilling. We're going to go down there later. But it was really hot outside, and I had to take a break from tilling. And also, I had originally thought I had 5 pounds of azuki beans to plant, but I only had 2. And then my little push seeder thing wasted quite a bit of them because sometimes it pops multiples out of each time where there's a hole. So it can be a bit of a pain and kind of wasteful. But I went and down a ways. I had to drive quite a ways to get to an Asian market that sells these. And I had looked everywhere, all over the store twice. I couldn't find them, and I finally had to ask, and they were hiding. But I was kind of happy because it said on the box that they were in, the bigger box that was full of them, that they're from a 2022 lot. So they should be pretty fresh, and they've been vacuum packaged. And even though they only had the organic, I was kind of surprised, but they were about $3.19 a piece, which is pretty close to what the organic red beans go for. And then this way I won't have to wait, a week or so for shipping. And then they also had these next to them that looked interesting to me, and I've never eaten these, but I thought that I would just get some of these because I might be able to make some miso or something if I grow some of these. I don't know, we'll see. I don't like a whole lot of soy, but one thing that a lot of, I guess, Caucasian people don't understand is that really you're supposed to ferment these is much better for you, to have them in different fermented products. Okay, so now the azuki beans, I really love these because in the wintertime I love to eat red bean porridge, and I just make it with, cooked beans, blended up, kind of chunky blended, then with some milk and just a little bit of sugar, and it's a really good winter breakfast. Sometimes I'll make some rice balls and fry them up and dip them in honey and put them in my red bean porridge. But you can also just make red bean paste sauce stuff and put it on ice cream or put it in steamed buns, which, my mom, when she wanted to make the steamed buns, hobang, really quick, she would use biscuits, pre-made biscuits, in the kind of can that you twist open, and then she would use those on each end and pinch them together with the paste in the middle and then steam those instead of making homemade dough all the time. So anyways, I'm excited to plant these. I decided that I would be greedy with the beans this year because beans are a really good staple product that stay good for a really long time. So I don't want to necessarily have to be planting azuki beans every year. So I would like to harvest multiple years worth. And then the other great thing about this is, beans, you can dry them in the field. So when you're selling dried beans, they are kind of preserved in that they'll stay good for a long time, but I can actually sell those as a crop. They won't count towards home kitchen sales or anything like that. And I can sell them all year round if I get a good harvest in. So my sink, very excited. Oh, and I just wanted to show you guys what happened to my new tool that I just bought at the Tractor Supply. So I'll show you what I was doing down the hill, but there was just a little root clump that hadn't gotten tilled up, and I just, grabbed it with a little fork, and I thought I'd had it with all three of these, and I just gave it a pull. And I don't feel like I pulled that hard. And this is not what it looks like, so I'm a little perplexed on what I should do, if I should just try to bend it back in place and then maybe put some paint on the area where that has kind of come up. But I just bought this and I spent up like $23 on this tool, and I was expecting to have it in good shape for a long time, and I didn't really feel like I was trying to do anything crazy, just pull up a little grass clump. So, I do have some stubborn grass clumps, but I really didn't feel like I pulled so hard that it should have done that to this tool. So, it's just one of those things. Good tools matter, and then when you don't do the research for the highest quality, you end up suffering sometimes. But maybe I should have only been using it on, I don't know. But anyways, I'll carry on. Now, I started to take some videos yesterday of my progress on where my wood rack is going to go. And I ended up not really putting them together because I had multiple Josephine the cat savage hunter situations while I was doing my video, because she caught a gopher and she killed it, tried to give it to me as a present, and when she realized I wasn't going to eat it, she started eating it right next to me. And then after that, when I came back with another update after I had cleared this area, then she started, she was hunting a snake or something, and it was, I don't know, maybe I'll post it later, but we'll see. But anyways, yesterday I had cleared out these branches here, and I started with this, and then I got to take that out. So I guess this is more of a yesterday update. I had meant to maybe work on this some more today, but it didn't quite happen. We gotta pick and choose our battles sometimes. But I just did want to mention, I don't have it back here, but that wood rack that I bought, that I wasn't really sure what the quality was going to be like. Well, obviously I still don't know, but it's made by this company called Vevor, Vevor. And when I was just ordering some more weed cloth last night, I found some stuff by them. Hi, Josephine. Hi. And it was a lighter weight 3.2 ounce weed cloth that's woven. So it's a little bit more affordable. But it ended up being a lot cheaper to order on the company's actual website, and they were offering free shipping and a $5 coupon, than it was to order the same thing on Amazon. So I just wanted to give you all a reminder that sometimes you gotta kind of poke around so that you're not giving money away, because I figure they probably end up having to give Amazon some of their earnings on there, and so they try to get it back. But it was earlier after I started tilling, because I started tilling right after my morning coffee, and it was, well, I'm tired, but I took a little break from that because I feel like different activities work out different muscle groups, and my tilling muscles, I think, were just a little overworked. But I just started pulling out just these burdocks, really. I haven't done a whole lot of work. I was just digging up the burdocks, and notice I didn't really get the whole roots, which will end up sprouting smaller little plants. But to give you guys an idea, here's a dead one that I pulled out. So sometimes these, when they've been dead in there for a while, you can just pull them out of the ground. So this is what a root looks like on a more mature one of these. So this is the second year. You would harvest the first year for a roast burdock root. But all the way down here is where it was, where the ground line was, the dirt line. And this whole thing, okay, so this is my hand. This whole thing is the root on this. So it's almost impossible to get the whole root out on one of these that is still alive. So I'm just gonna be battling the situation for a little while. But I wanted to see where some things were at, and just in this little patch here that I cleared Well, I noticed first of all that I had to be more careful because, as I mentioned, I had a whole row of just huge, full-sized pastel yarrows all along, all along here, and they're really beautiful, different colors, and they were self-seeding very generously and just like multiplying themselves, and they were like full-sized, and well. Now they're like hardly coming up at all, but I might be able to salvage some situation because like here's one of them right here, and like well, there's some different stuff mixed in here, but like, oh, there's some spittle bug, but it's like I've got my yarrows that are still up in here. They're just, they're just a little bit buried. And then while I was going through here, I had to be really careful because even though you can see my giant, like I think these are like Jersey, well, I don't, that's the kind of chicken. I was going to say Jersey Giant. So I don't remember what kind this is. I have the tag somewhere. But these giant asparagus trees, okay, hopefully they'll give me lots of berries and then I can maybe even get some going from seed. We'll see how that goes. But those are obviously much easier to see. Maybe not on this camera. But then when I pulled out some burdocks, I noticed I got just a normal asparagus here. And then I had a cage around it to help make it easier, and they've all been trampled by the deer and stuff like that because I wasn't expecting to be leaving these to get overgrown, and I had put down, like you can see the vestiges of it, but it had some straw mulch on here because I wasn't done planting. But so here's an asparagus, and over here is an asparagus, and then like I was going through, oh, and then where did it go? Here is like this rhubarb was like completely overshadowed by a giant burdock, and I should have another rhubarb hiding in here somewhere. And then over here I was like, oh, there's another cage, and I was looking at this. Oh shoot, I'm tripping on cages. But I think this is going to be an echinacea. And I forget, I think I call this something else. Maybe this is called lamb's quarter or something, but this is actually edible. And just because it grows as a weed isn't a bad thing. Sometimes weeds like stinging nettles and things can be extremely nutritious. So, anyways, I'm gonna make my way out of here without crushing anything, hopefully. But this was kind of one of like my brief projects today because I had to get over here. And I decided that I'm not going to actually till this area or that area. I'm just going to put the weed cloth down, the heavy weed cloth, and see how it goes. But these burdocks can be very like penetrative to weed cloths and things like that. So I at least wanted to get these out. And I'm not sure when exactly I'm going to be putting the cloth down or which weight I'm going to be putting down on this area. So it wasn't supposed to start raining until like later, I think. Like I thought I was gonna have one more day. Like I thought I was gonna be able to finish tilling this and then planting my beans tomorrow. And then I thought it was gonna rain the day after that. But I've been busy. Well, I finished tilling some part of this and then my tiller broke. I can show that to you. But these trenches, again, they look really deep, even though the beans are only going 1.5 inches deep. But a big part of that is actually rotted root clumps. And again, I don't recommend people to do things the way I'm doing things, because what would have been more ideal is if I had gotten in town back home soon enough to actually let this sit for a long time and like rot. Oops, sorry for the crazy voice sound, but I just stepped in a little bit of a divot, but the water kind of ends up running through here. But here's some of my rock harvest from my tilling. It's been very exciting. Now there have been some broken chunks of concrete down in here, and I know there's a big thing down back in there, and I had to put some big things, like look at what I dug up, but I stuck it there because there's a huge rock I gotta dig up so it don't hurt my tiller, and I stuck that chunk on top of another chunk that needs dug up. But I don't know if I'm gonna actually get to planting those tonight or not. I at least wanted to make my divots because I don't know what the rain is gonna be like tonight. I might try to get them in the ground. It's tough though, because to actually get just dirt on top of my seeds instead of just root clumps, it's kind of manual labor intensive right now for me. Well, and what is this? So I have been digging up some like glass things. Got another rock pile over there. But I am tilling a little bit deeper this year than I have in the past because I really only tilled this maybe one other year. But my tiller, it broke on me and it's no good. This cable thing broke, and unfortunately I think I might have to go in and replace the whole thing because this little thing just, this pops out. But I worked my tiller hard, but I didn't think, oh, it's not focusing. I worked it that hard. So I couldn't find my tarp, and I was trying to get it back up to the garage for the rain, and I've kind of had to settle for putting the space bag on here for now to just keep the rain off of that part. And then, I don't know, because this one, some tillers you can just like put in neutral and push, but this one you got to change how the wheels are set up and everything. Oh, there's my deer carcass is still rotting. But so this area right here is basically the only area that I have undone still right now. And I think my main activity tomorrow, as much as I would like to get my kitchen sink, kitchen counter project going, I think my main activity tomorrow, weather permitting, is going to be to try to panic plant as much of this as I can and see how it works out. I should have enough beans for this whole space down here. And then if there are some spots that don't come up well, I can pop in some blue Hubbards, or I might just pop in some blue Hubbards anyways and later on go back and pull out just a few bean plants to pop in some blue Hubbards. I'm not really sure yet. And sorry, this video has ended up kind of long, so I guess I better call it. But I guess I just will mention that the reason why I ordered some more weed cloth was because I decided that to this area, well, I'll show it to you real quick, the area behind the garage, I am not going to be planting my beans there, even though, so I guess it wasn't necessary for me to till, but I didn't really know what I was going to be putting where and how things were going to be working out and how I was going to be feeling about things. But I do think I want to try to get registered and licensed for my perennial plant nursery sooner rather than later. So, I finally reset up my little worm bin. I don't have the worms yet though. This area over here is probably going to be eventually turned into a chicken run. This area right in here, which is, crazily overgrown right now, but a covered chicken run so that my flock can have a place to be outside. But this area, I had started planting just a couple rows of beans. But since this area is so easy for me to keep watered and everything, I think I am going to go ahead and rake it out nice and smooth and put down the weed cloth and have this be my nursery area where I can start my potted plants that are eventually going to be up for sale. And I'm going to be doing some different things, some of them landscape plants like corkscrew willow and dappled willow, and some edibles like Hanson's bush cherries, and I'll see what I'll have to make cuttings of that's ready. But then also the perennial vegetables like the Hablitzia and the Siam-body perennial celery. I mean, I got to see how many I can get going this year. Maybe the Mad Dog Skullcap, but I think that's going to be my goal, is to go ahead and try to get my license. Now, I do have spittlebug that is on different parts of my property, so I have to call the place and ask them what are the standards, and is the spittlebug going to be a problem for me qualifying, or how it all works, because I really have no idea. So this is going to be kind of a new adventure for me. And now Tuesday, I have my pond liner arriving and my rain chain. So I got the projects kind of stacking up, but it's like different orders of priorities, because for example, my roof leaks. Like if I were to go in there right now, which I'm probably not going to, you could look up and see little spots of light. So I'm going to get some fiber asphalt coating and coat my roof with it because my coop is in there. And it's like, it's struggling. But when I got the roof done on the house, I couldn't really afford to get this garage done and also the front patio roof done because that was going to like double the price basically, or maybe even more. That was going to be a main part of the price, and I couldn't do it. So eventually I'll have a project with the asphalt roof coating. But anyways, y'all, again, Saturday, June 10th, I believe it is today. And it's 2023. And that's just kind of my, quote unquote, diary entry for today. Take it easy.